Hey everyone, Howie Fisher from Fisher's Flies. Thanks for checking in. Today I'm going to be tying up a super buggy and pretty simple October caddis. It's really only two materials and it can be replicated or tied in a bunch of different colors to very different caddis. So for the hook, I'm using an Ahrex Freshwater 525, which is the Superdry Barbless in the size 10. You could also use an Ahrex big gape hook. For the thread today, I'm using Veevus 70 denier in brown. And I'm going to go ahead and get started with my thread right behind the hook eye. Take a couple wraps to secure it and snip off the tag. I'm not going to move this thread anywhere else. I'm going to get right into the body of the fly, which here is Perfect Blend dubbing. This is a dubbing that I create and sell. So if you're interested, please feel free to reach out and I can get you taken care of. This specific color is cinnamon. I prefer my October caddis to be a little bit darker. I don't like them super orange because if you see them, they are not really very bright orange. They're actually almost exactly what this cinnamon color is. They are a dark orange or a burnt orange, kind of like this. So I'm going to go ahead and create a dubbing noodle about 3 to 4 inches, and I'm going to work this dubbing noodle backwards towards the hook point. And once I get it where I want it, if I don't need to add any dubbing, I'm going to bring open spiral wraps across the dubbing to lock it down back up to right behind the hook eye. For the wing on this, I'm using Select Cow Elk from Nature's Spirit in orange. I'm going to cut off an ample clump from the hide, which is about probably the size of a pencil, if you will, for this size 10. I do want this wing on this specific fly pattern to really be part of the buoyancy, but also obviously be the wing and be that that longer profile that I want. So October caddis, if you don't know, are larger. That's why I'm tying this in a size 10. If you do ever see them around, they're I believe the largest caddis that there is, and they get pretty large. So I'm going to stack this hair and then I'm going to go ahead and give it 3 wraps before cinching down really tight. Once I get 3 or 4 wraps in, then I'll give it a nice cinch. And then I like to work my thread through the butt ends like that to help it make it secure. And then I snip off those butt ends like so. And you can see this wing is just longer than the body that I dubbed. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just create a little bit of an even head to make this next step just a little bit easier. I'm going to go ahead and create a split thread dubbing loop for the next step. I'll go ahead and link a video that I've done on these before if you are interested. So I'm just going to flatten my thread with my bodkin and split it also with my bodkin. Then I'm going to take some more of this Perfect Blend dubbing in the cinnamon, and I'm going to straighten it out, make sure the fibers are aligned, and I'm going to insert it into my dubbing loop. You can wax this if you'd prefer before putting that in. I don't usually do it, but sometimes I do. Then I'm going to go ahead and spread this out, make sure I've got a nice even loop. You want it to be about 2 to 3 inches in length, maybe 4 inches, to really make sure that you get that whole head covered. But 2 to 3 inches is probably that sweet spot on this size 10. I'm going to go ahead and brush it out and make sure no fibers are trapped. Spin it up a little bit more to make sure it's good, and then I'm going to go ahead and wrap it forward. I like to go ahead and take one wrap backwards actually over the wing to make sure it's laying down flat, and then wrap it forward to right behind the eye, brushing the fibers backwards to make sure I don't get any trapped. Once I'm to the eye, I'll just go ahead and do a 3 or 4 turn whip finish, seat my knot, and snip it off. And again, this is a really super simple October caddis pattern. I like to finish mine off with a little bit of Solarez Bone Dry. Head Cement or Sally Hansen's works just fine, but I prefer the Solarez. I feel like I've got a bit more control on it, especially on a fly like this. I don't want it soaking into the CDC or the Perfect Blend dubbing. So I'll go ahead and put that on, hit it with the UV light, and then last step, I like to just brush out this head a little bit, make sure it's extra buggy. Again, really truly a pretty simple caddis that can be changed in color to imitate various different caddis, but this is the October version. So tie them up quickly for the October caddis hatch, fish them, let me know what you think. Thanks.